The nation's vast road network is policed by traffic cops. But they can't do their jobs without the car pounds.
Stephen?
Yes?
A lot of officers out. It's going to be bedlam.
At Threadgold Pound in Northampton, Maureen and Steve are married to each other
Hello, Ted.
and to the job.
So they're coming in thick and fast.
After 40 years in the car pound game, they know the vital role the pound plays in police operations.
There wouldn't be any point in doing the op if we weren't available to pick their vehicles up. If we're not around, what's the point in them stopping a car for no tax to pay a surety or for no insurance to take their car away? No recovery operators. Police stop as well.
In the yard, recovery driver John is preparing to hit the road.
I'm going to do my daily check sheet, yeah? Tyres are brilliant.
He's assisting Northamptonshire Police with Operation Tramline. Its aim, to crack down on car crime.
Police have got a hard job. They have to deal with customers, don't they? And tell them that they're going to lose their vehicle.
We'll cover the M1, we're going to cover 16 to 18, what we've done normally. We'll get people off at the service stations.
Out on the roads, police officer Dave Lee is preparing for the operation and has called in the cavalry.
Today we're going to be out utilising the unmarked lorry that's provided to us by National Highways, using it on the motorway network. Allows us to overtake vehicles, have a look, see what's in them, see what drivers are doing, and if they're doing anything that they shouldn't be, such as like not wearing a seatbelt, using their phone, or kind of watching Netflix, which seems to be a popular thing at the moment.
As the police lorry hits the highways, John hits the road, ready to retrieve and impound those vehicles seized by the cops.
Hopefully we'll get a lot of people stopped today for different offences. So it's game on.
I think we provide a service that helps the general public. If you've got people on the roads that shouldn't be, whether they be drink drivers, drug drivers, or no tax, no insurance, especially if they've got no licence, they're more prone obviously to have an accident possibly. Anything that stops people having an accident can only help everybody else on the road.
This police HGV is one of the largest vehicles used by the cops. With the cabin raised above the traffic, they can get a unique view and spot those unseen offences.
Seatbelt? I don't think he's got a belt on, Andy. The one next to the truck now, he's just put his red seatbelt on over the top. He had it plugged in at the back, has acknowledged me and has put this belt on camera.
However, while the HGV finds the crime,
See how his attitude is, but I've definitely got it on camera. He probably didn't know we're police.
it's up to the units following to pull over the offending vehicles.
I think he may be coming up on the M45.
Do the usual question, mate. See what he says.
And it's not long before they swing into action, as the police HGV has spotted a potential offender.
It's all 4 balls, so I can't see anything in the back, mate.
Yeah, we got him.
Officers Dave and Ethan stop the driver.
Hello, driver.
Afternoon, driver, how are you?
Well, thank you.
Good, good. You got your licence on you just for us? Just some checks.
The reason why we stopped you is we've got the unmarked HGV on the motorway, and as it's gone past you, it's seen the trade plate in the front window, but it didn't see one in the rear.
Oh, there was one where I lived.
Okay.
Trade plates are special number plates used by the motor trade that exempts businesses from paying road tax. They must be fitted on the front and rear of the vehicle.
So what I can do is I can put the vehicle registration number in and I can look at every single camera across the whole of the UK, so I can see whether this vehicle had a trade plate on from where you left off.
It's something the police take seriously. There's a fine of up to £5,000 and a maximum 2-year prison sentence for unlawfully using or altering trade plates.
I would say that the guy put the plate on before I left. If I didn't see it, to be perfectly honest with you, sir, so I don't know.
Okay, that kind of is reducing my confidence a little bit that it was ever on there in the first place. The driver initially was saying there was a trade plate on the rear and almost kind of insinuated that it's fallen off. We hear that quite a lot when it comes to trade plates.
The police are able to check the driver's story by accessing their UK-wide network of automatic number plate cameras.
What I can do is put the registration number through and see where it's been and actually bring up photos. So if where he set off from, I dare say there probably wouldn't be an ANPR camera too far away, and I'd be able to see the tray plate on the back window. Considering it's not a local vehicle, it's hitting ANPR a lot.
I'd expect the odd A45.
But even going 14th of Feb, 7th of Feb, yeah, so definitely nothing on the rear. So what I've done is I've checked the tray plate on the police computer, and I can see who it's allocated to, which is the company that he's working for. However, they expired back in December, so they're not valid anyway. You know, in essence, the vehicle at the moment it's liable for seizure.
Which means John could be towing this car to the pound.
I had a van or something here, but I need to get my tools out of it.
Not only do car pounds remove illegal cars, they also recover vehicles involved in accidents. At CMG in Northampton, builder Gerard has arrived to inquire about his van that has been involved in a serious collision.
Right, okay. For that, we would require a logbook and photo ID.
The accident happened just 30 minutes ago, but Gerard is keen to get back to work.
It's not even here yet.
You're joking.
No, you've beaten me.
When the vehicles arrive, it's clear the drivers were lucky to escape this collision with minor injuries.
My arms are a bit sore. Obviously I held onto the steering wheel very hard when it was braking. Oh, I'm fine, yeah, fine. Just glad I didn't kill that other boy, that's all, when he drove out in front of me. I don't know how I took that.
Back in reception, Gerard tries to claim his car and retrieve his tools so he can head back to his tiling job.
So you got the logbook with you, and have you got photo ID with you?
But there's a problem.
There's the logbook there.
Yeah.
Photo ID. Do you know why I haven't photo ID? Because I'll tell you why. I'm 70, right? I've got a new licence. It's sitting in the house. My passport's in that van as well.
Your passport's in your van?
I think it is. I've plenty of bank cards and things, if that's any use to you.
Apparently he's got his passport in there, but I can't find it.
With no photo ID, Gerard won't be able to retrieve his work tools, so CMG driver Colin is trying to find the missing passport.
To the office to find out if it is actually in this vehicle.
Which one is it? The silver van?
No, the white.
The white van?
Yeah.
I'll go have a look. I'll go look as well.
So I'll go out there again and have a look then.
Your van broke on my van, yeah?
Yeah, I'll put your van in, yeah.
Was the passport inside her?
No, we're just looking for it now.
Yeah, it's behind the visor, it should be.
There's stuff everywhere.
The van may be full of everything, but not the elusive passport.
Nothing there, nothing there.
I've searched it, it's not there, it's not in there.
And just,
on your doors.
Well, is this going to stop me getting my tools out?
Well,
if you haven't got a photographic ID.
I have to get those tools, I have to finish a job this evening. Today, for later tomorrow.
The clock's ticking as Gerard heads home to search for his passport. If he doesn't find it fast, he will lose a day's work. At CMG Pound in Northampton, the hunt continues for builder Gerard's missing passport.
it's definitely not in there.
That's a shame.
How can I help?
I was to call back with this photo ID.
You want to get your stuff out of your vehicle, don't you?
That's right.
But after an hour-and-a-half round trip home, he's finally tracked it down and can retrieve his work tools.
My wife had taken it out of the van, she saw it in the van, and she took it into the house for. She said somebody might just take it or I'd lose it.
It's a result.
That'll do me today. It's just to give you some idea when you have an accident that all the grief that it can cause.
I mean, it's been into Northampton as well.
A few miles away, police officers David and Ethan are investigating a driver spotted without trade plates on the back of his car. Any drivers convicted of failure to display correct plates face a hefty fine, a possible jail sentence, and the seizure of their vehicle.
I'm trying to get my head round as to where you've come from and where you're going to.
Come from Gillingham in Kent to near Milton Keynes. I cut through, well, I just followed the sat-nav to head north.
I'm just a little bit puzzled by obviously the account that you're giving me. You know, initially obviously with regards to the trade plate, and then the story's kind of changed just slightly. If you were coming up with where you've come from, I'm still puzzled as to how your sat-nav has taken you from somewhere down south up to here. And I just want to make sure you're completely road legal. At the minute you're not, because you've only got one trade plate displayed when you should have two. Where I am at the minute is it's likely the vehicle's going to be seized.
John's already en route, and back at Threadgold, his boss Maureen is waiting to hear if the car will be seized and brought back to the pound.
All the vehicle pounds throughout the country are providing a good service to the public. We are keeping roads safe. You get the people that shouldn't be on the road off the road, can only be a good thing.
Obviously being police officers, we're just suspicious of everything. But certainly his licence checks out. There is an insurance policy in force for the vehicle which would cover him. The trade plate we'll keep hold of, we'll send back to DVLA because it's expired.
Recovery driver John arrives on the scene.
John?
Right.
Hello bud, you alright?
How are you?
I'm alright at the minute. We're just doing a few more checks, John, and then we'll get the key and you can start moving.
Oh, it is actually a seizure, is it? So if I drop my bed down, just wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, all sorted, then we'll be a few minutes, bud. All right.
No problem, mate.
Cheers, mate. Okay, driver, we'll get it loaded up then. Say again?
Will I go with you?
No, that's it. You'll stay here, so you'll need to sort out some transport or get him picked up. We can get you a phone number for a local taxi firm if that helps you.
John will now impound the car. If it's not collected within 14 days, it could end up being crushed.
He didn't seem that bothered. It just seems a little bit odd if you're taking somebody's car, even though it's probably not worth a huge amount of money, you'd still want to know where it's going and how you'd get it back.
The driver remains adamant that the magnetic rear trade plate was in place at the start of his journey, and that it either fell off or was removed by a third party. He also said that the company he was driving for informed him that the trade plate was returned to them by the DVLA, who confirmed it was legal, as did the police. He imagines there must have been a computer system error on the day.
I had an appointment for 4:15.
Do you want Andrew, man?
Yes.
In the UK, a vehicle is stolen every 6 minutes, and it's estimated that over 70% of them are never recovered. But at CMG, one owner is in luck.
Okay, so this is the letter from the police.
Yeah.
There's my passport.
Thank you.
This customer's car was stolen in the night from his driveway, around 70 miles away in London.
Have there any been stolen?
Month to the day.
Oh, no.
Well, on the 3rd of February.
Oh,
So exactly.
no.
To be honest, I never ever thought I'd see it.
No.
I mean, you don't expect it, do you?
No, I suppose not, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's a stolen recovered vehicle that's in one piece or whether it's a stolen vehicle that they've stolen and driven to the point of killing each other, you know, we see the whole spectrum, you know, we see everything.
This car may have been recovered by the police, but collecting it from the pound doesn't come cheap.
Unfortunately, you've got £210 to pay. You're paying on card.
Yes.
CMG driver Terry has been tasked with handing the car back to the owner.
Stolen recovered, so the original owner's come back with it now, and it's quite a lot of property and it doesn't belong to him apparently, so we get the pleasure of de-kitting it. All good fun. Just got to find him now. Do you want to come and show me what's not yours and then I'll take it out? No worries. I'll give you your key.
The thieves appear to have set up camp in the car.
Is any of it yours? Okay, we'll bag it all up and...
Phone in there as well, is that one of yours?
No, it's not one of mine. If it's not yours, I'll take it and I'll put it with their kit. Oh my God. think I might have to go and get some more bags. It literally looks like someone's been living out of it, doesn't it? Well, yeah. What a way to bring your kids up. We have stolen recovered all the time, but not usually full like this. It's normally, you know, very little left inside. But I'll take a couple of these down, I'll grab a few more bags.
Pretty surprising, really, pretty shocking. I knew it was in a bit of a state because she said it was a bit dusty, but I mean, the outside isn't too bad, really. I mean, it's dusty, but it'll come off, but the inside's just disgusting, really. It's pretty awful.
Your car is, it's an extension of your home because you spend as much time behind the wheel, in some cases, as you do sitting on your sofa in the front room. So when someone breaks into your house, steals your keys, takes your car, it is a violation. Quite often we see when the cars are recovered, they're full of stuff and the owner turns up and he's, you know, it's not his stuff. So we have to de-kit it, we have to store it and then dispose of it eventually.
Together, Terry and the driver have removed 6 big bags of abandoned clothes, bedding and random junk.
Enjoy your weekend cleaning it?
Yeah. I just had it cleaned actually, so it was all nice and spick and span when I last saw it, but now look at the state of it.
With the car finally empty of the thieves' things, the owner can begin the long journey back to London. Up the road at Threadgold, John's back after picking up the vehicle seized for not correctly displaying trade plates.
John, would you like a coffee or a tea?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That'll do. What, you want coffee and tea? You want me to make you an half and half?
He's awaiting his next call out for Operation Tramline.
Hey John, I filled this black thing up, and what do I do?
And John may not have long to wait. On the M1, the HGV police officers are getting results.
Obviously, if the police are in an HGV, you can see more than you can see if you're in a car. You can see into other HGVs. I think it's quite impressive. I'm sure the people that are caught aren't very impressed. I'm sure they think it's all very backhanded and no blue flashing lights to give them any warnings. You read in papers, don't you, where they saw a cup of tea on their knee and steering with their knees and one hand on a paper and one hand doing something else or playing a game on the computer. In a car, you can't see up to see all that, but if you're in their lorries, you're on a level, aren't you? Bit of a shock, I should imagine, when they pull up next.
The last couple, I think, we've had a lot of drivers with no seatbelt. They seem to have overtaken mobile phones.
Yeah.
Trailing the HGV in a marked response car are traffic officers Adam and Declan.
So, because we're in a marked unit compared to an unmarked car, we're going to be sat about half a mile, maybe a little bit less behind the unmarked truck, just so we're a little bit out of the way, we can hide a little bit. If there are any offences, then we'll catch up and deal with them.
Can we just see what this Mini's doing? Because it keeps weaving from side to side.
Stand by. Oh wow, it's dropped right back now.
The officers are concerned about the Mini's erratic driving.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Drove past it, couldn't see anything, but she seems to keep weaving from side to side.
I think it may be worthwhile stopping.
Rich, do you want to get her off at 16?
Worth just checking. We'll cover the rear for you. I love that.
Brake, yeah, follow me.
I love that, follow me and then light it up.
Oh, oh, oh.
Despite the large LED signs and flashing lights, the Mini driver hasn't taken notice of the order to follow the police.
Is it this Mini?
Yes, yes. You might need to follow us, actually.
If we get the marked unit in front, and let's try and stop it with the X3 first.
I'll go around you, Andy, and I'll go in front.
ready.
The units must act fast. If the car fails to stop, they could have a pursuit on their hands, and John may have another vehicle to seize.
Yeah, in front of me.
In Northampton, John from Threadgold Pound is helping police with Operation Tramline, designed to get unlawful motorists and their vehicles off the road and into the pound.
Happy to stop it here. I'll block off the 2 lanes, then get the keys off it.
The police have spotted a Mini driving erratically.
Jump out, jump out, jump out. I'm going to grab the keys to her.
And she's finally pulled over.
They were in front of you, asking you to follow her, and then you completely ignored her. Well, we would have told you when we stopped. You just follow me.
While John's on standby with the tow truck, tensions mount at the side of the road.
Have you got your driving license?
Police following me as I wasn't out in what?
Well, I would have told you when to stop, but you hadn't stopped before.
I never even followed this like this before.
Okay.
You got police and then suddenly, you're like, what the hell?
Okay.
Yeah, but why did you like that?
The reason there's so many of us here is because my colleagues had pulled in front and they'd signalled for you to stop. You hadn't stopped. So the reason I've come in is because I'm in a marked police car. Put your handbrake on for us. Put your handbrake on. Put your handbrake on.
Thing is, I got this is white with you.
Okay.
Nothing. And now I don't want the police.
Okay.
Police haven't done anything.
And the reason they've stopped you is because the manner of your driving. They've only been behind you for a few seconds, and I've seen you swerving on the road. So the only reason I want to stop you is to speak to you to see if everything's okay, to make sure you're okay, or to check if there's any problems. They've signalled for you to follow, and you haven't followed. That's why I've come in the marked car, because you haven't stopped for the unmarked car. So we've then used this car to make sure you are stopping for us and you're not failing to stop. If that makes sense.
Having stopped the vehicle for erratic driving, the officers need to make sure the motorist is fit to be behind the wheel.
Okay, because of the manner of the drive, we are going to press drive.
Make a nice feel around there, nice steady, don't, not too hard, not too soft. It's nice steady breath, it's nice steady breath.
I like going out on police jobs. Sometimes it's stressful. I think it's rewarding that the vehicle's coming off the road to try and get it across to people that you will lose your vehicle. If somebody's being aggressive and there's a warden there or the police officers are there, we tend to take the back seat of it, stand out the way. We do either sit in the truck or stand at the side of the truck until one of them will turn around and say, yeah, okay, everything's sorted.
The woman's below the legal limit, avoiding an instant trip to the cells and a lengthy driving ban.
She's tired, she was losing concentration, she's been at work and she's running late for an appointment. So it's all of those emotions mixed into one.
In the UK, 20% of all crashes are estimated to be caused by driver fatigue.
It is just simply words of advice, just to say, I understand you're tired, you need to get to your appointment, but it's better to arrive and be late rather than not at all.
With the cops satisfied, the Mini driver heads back on the road and John is stood down to await the next retrieval.
Charles Wilson.
In Manchester, at the Charles Wilson Pound, office manager Gary is reuniting this woman with her car.
Hello. Hiya.
The vehicle has been brought into the pound after being involved in an incident that didn't involve the owner.
My last 24 hours was horrible. I lent my friend my car. So around 3:40, I received a call from him saying that my car is on fire.
I thought he was joking. I was shocked.
As the police suspect arson, the owner's insurance doesn't cover the damage, and that's a real problem.
It's gonna affect me and my children because I use my car for uni. I go to uni 2 days a week, full time. I've got a disabled daughter that goes to school like 3.5 miles away from where I live.
Right, well, we'll have to get the stuff out for you, yeah. Well, why don't you wait for him to bring it out and get the stuff out, meet him at the entrance? Meet him at the back, that's going to be easier, yeah.
Gary's cool head proves handy on reception. Whereas yard manager Ian knows emotions run high and tempers boil over.
Gary is a very good spokesman for the company. He used to be a doorman by trade many, many years ago, but it gives him that confidence that when you deal with people that are less pleasant, more aggressive, as well as being able to deal with people that are genuinely distraught by the process that they've gone through, whether it be a stolen car or an accident. Some people find it really, really incredibly distressing.
The car is loaded onto a truck to go to the garage, but the car pound team have spotted a potentially dangerous issue. Fuel is leaking from the vehicle.
There's not a great deal you can do with that. You just need to get to wherever you're going.
With the leak sorted, the car is towed away.
I really want to get angry, but I try to stay calm. Financially, it's gonna be hard.
Customer dispatched, Gary's back at his desk, and Gary hits the road. With both of them at the pound, the team have a nickname for Gary number 2.
When I first started at Chas Wilson's, the name Little Legs just stuck because I was the smallest one out of the workforce. So then they made it even more better because I drive the biggest truck in the fleet. Bit ironic, but it's a laugh.
He's working with the local police, who are running a special operation targeting vehicles that should not be on the road.
Should be quite a good day, I think.
Gary's on his way to impound an uninsured car seized by police as part of the crackdown.
Basically, they do it once a month, just to make sure all the vehicles are adequate and safe to be on the road.
Today's police op is using ANPR software to hunt down suspect cars. Once the number plates have been run through the computer, one of two things happen.
If it comes back fine, you're free to go. If not, you're walking. And here we go. We've got everybody here today.
Gary identifies the Ford Focus he's been tasked with towing and impounding, but there's a second vehicle that needs removing, and that wasn't part of the plan.
You're going to say you've got that one as well, aren't you?
As his truck can't transport both vehicles, he checks in with the boss.
Hi, Gav. Hi, mate. It's an IV called Beavertail.
Oh, is it right? Come
Yeah.
back with your Focus then and go back for that, Gav.
Right, OK, mate.
Gary loads the uninsured Focus onto his truck.
See, I told you this operation, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get with it.
A former mechanic, he takes great pride in every job.
We're retrieving your car, we've got to respect it, but if it was my car getting lifted, I certainly wouldn't want scratches, dents all over my car when I came to it.
Every car that comes in, you have this sense of responsibility for. Every car that you recover is, in some way, shape or form, somebody's pride and joy. It's something they've spent a lot of money on. It's something a lot of people desire and have spent a long time working up towards. And it's only right that we treat these vehicles in a respectful way, in a way that the owner would want them to be treated.
With the Focus safely delivered to the pound, the uninsured owner faces a hefty fine.
Safe and sound. Now is, if they've got no insurance, you have to ring up the insurance companies, get a price, get the insurance, go to the police station, produce the documents. They'll stamp the seizure notice, bring it to us, and then they can retrieve their car.
Later that day, Coventry-based owner Jimmy has completed this lengthy process and has come to collect his car.
Hello. What can we do for you?
And he's brought his family with him.
Thank you. Have you got both your driving licences, please? You paying cash or card? Card, no problem. It is 230 today. If you want to bring your card through here, please. Yeah, they're here for that focusy. And get somebody to drive it round. All right, cheers, eh? You give us a couple of minutes. They are quite busy, but somebody will bring it round for you. All right.
Thank you.
You can wait in here because I think it's raining, isn't it?
Being without my car is very stressful. Like coming from Coventry to Manchester, trying to get it without no car is stressful.
Jimmy thought he'd insured his car, but he'd made a very expensive mistake.
Basically, I did an insurance for a year, but I didn't realize the cover starts the next day.
And it was on the day that it was uninsured that Jimmy drove to Manchester and was stopped by the police on.
So I took out my insurance, showed them, and they realized the date was the next day it starts, not the Friday, but on a Saturday that it starts.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you do feel empathy for certain people. I mean, certain people, it's a genuine mistake. They didn't intentionally drive with no insurance. Sometimes it's a genuine error, and you do have to have empathy for these people.
Jimmy could be slapped with up to 6 penalty points and a £300 fine to add to the £230 he's just paid to get his car back.
My plan now, get breakfast and go straight back to Coventry.
With his bank account depleted, but his appetite intact, Jimmy and his family can head home.
What's that comments marker that's just hit us?
Hasn't appeared on my stack. What filters have you got?
It's hit C, yeah? It's an orange comments marker.
In Northampton, Officer Adam is patrolling the roads.
It's linked to a theft on the 15th of Feb.
It's gone right at the mini roundabout, heading towards Siles.
The team at Threadgold are standing by to assist the police recovering illegal vehicles.
The transit van can go.
Can it? We haven't got a transit van.
Oh, you know what I mean. I love the police ops. They keep us busy. It's interesting. You don't know who's going to walk through the doors trying to claim their cars back. We don't do them as often as we used to, and I absolutely love them. Keeps us all busy, all on our toes, and we take some money.
It seems recovery driver John may be deployed, as Officer Adam's ANPR system has picked up a suspicious van.
So we had a vehicle that had activated one of the ANPR cameras on this car that we're in.
There is a lot of cameras in Northampton that the police use. It's good. I've been in the control room and watched it. It's superb. It's not a camera, it's a bank of cameras, and they can see all over Northampton.
The vehicle is suspected of being linked to thefts, and the road cops are keen to investigate the allegations and speak to the driver.
It's got right up Caswell Road. So we've located that vehicle that had got a comments marker on the ANPR system. So we'll just catch up with him and have a word with him.
After a signal from Adam, the van pulls over into a car park.
Stop there. Vehicle stopped. Hello, sir. Good morning. Do you have your driving licence on you at all? You haven't got a licence?
I had to move this vehicle for my dad this morning, and if that I wouldn't have moved it, to be fair.
I'm sure you're aware of the consequences of driving without a licence. I report you for the offence and we seize the vehicle.
Because you shouldn't be driving it on the road, you know that, don't you? Yeah, okay.
It's as important to take the vehicles off the road for people that got no licence as anything else. If you've got no licence, you shouldn't be on the road driving. It could be no licence that you've never passed your test. It could be no licence because it's been revoked or you've been banned. I think it's as important to take them for that as anything else.
Any reason why you stopped me?
Your vehicle is linked to a crime that we
have.
It's a theft. I'm just going to look at the details out of them at this moment in time, okay?
Well, it's not my vehicle, I saw the vehicle.
Despite suspicion that the vehicle may be linked to theft, there's no proof that the driver was involved.
To be fair, mate, my dad's 60-year-old, I couldn't see him committing any offences in this van, you know what I mean?
Based on the information that I've got, what I'm probably going to do is deal with the traffic offence of driving without a licence. I'm not satisfied there's enough evidence there to arrest you, okay, because you are driving the vehicle that's been used. I don't know any more than that. The vehicle's been linked to a crime of theft. At this moment in time, we don't have enough information to justify arresting him. The gentleman doesn't have a driving licence, he doesn't have insurance to drive the vehicle. So the vehicle's coming with us and he's been reported for those offences. We'll end up in court with him for his penalty. Potentially, yeah.
With no licence to lose and no insurance to drive, this driver could face a £1,000 fine and the van is going to the pound.
What about my dad? Can he come and get his stuff out?
If there's anything you want out of the vehicle, you can take it out. So what have you got in the vehicle and what are you going to be taking with?
John's minutes away and the man is keen to retrieve his goods before the van is seized.
I'm going to be taking that and everything what's in it to me dad's.
Okay, what is there?
He's lawnmower and got a boiler.
Can I just have a look? I need to list the property that you're taking out of the vehicle. Is that okay?
Is the back open? Thank you. You certainly can. It's obviously quite frustrating for us, you know, the fact that the owner of this vehicle is allowing somebody who he knows is not insured to drive it, take it out on the road. Potentially it's family, so he's likely to know that he doesn't have a licence as well, which would put as much blame on him as the person who's actually driving it. And you know, if you allow somebody in those circumstances to use your vehicle, you also face going to court with having points on your licence and hefty fines. You know, it's not acceptable.
Unable to get a lift, the van driver heads off on foot. And John has arrived in the tow truck.
You all right, Em?
I'm very well, thank you.
Nice and cold, isn't it?
Yeah. Could be worse though. You know, it's great. We're getting that vehicle off the road. It's unlikely we're going to get any evidential sort of forensic evidence out of the van. But the fact the van is off the road, which obviously is what we're here to do.
John loads the van. And hits the road. Another police op completed smoothly.
We've been working for the police for taking their vehicles for probably in excess of 20 years.
I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much indeed.
Go and find some more then.
I'll do my best. Cheers.
We don't worry too much about when they go out, to be perfectly honest. 9 out of 10 jobs are run of the mill, nothing ever happens.
Officer Adam is back on patrol, but a few minutes later, he spots something less than run of the mill.
I'm just going to go and see what's going on with that, because that's the vehicle that's just been recovered.
On his way to the pound, John's been rear-ended by another van.
It's a little bit unfortunate. There's a van there that's gone straight into the back of the recovery lorry that has just recovered the van that we've been with. There's no injuries, it's damage only, so just going to quickly sort that out, get the recovery lorry on the way, and then we'll organise recovery for the van behind, because at the moment that's in a non-drivable condition. Right, can we see if you can move forward?
With rush hour about to start and the incident blocking the road, it's vital they clear the scene. but the vehicles are stuck fast.
I think it's on the spec, yeah, where if I can drop my spec a bit, I may come away from it.
But recovery driver John has a plan. He thinks he can separate the vehicles by lowering a small platform at the rear of his truck.
Handbrake on.
Yeah.
We'll just check.
See if I can drop the spec down.
Yeah, go on.
Hang on a minute.
Go on.
Yeah, handbrake's on.
Before you pull off, pull off.
Right, vehicle separated. A little bit of damage to the towing arm on the back of the lorry, but otherwise unscathed, fortunately. Unfortunately, the front of the Transit is a bit more damaged, but you're obviously going to cause a bit of damage driving into the back of that. So we'll get one out of the way, get this one out of the way, and then everything will be open again. It's amazing what we've come across, isn't it? We'd only got 10 minutes down the road from the last job and we're already dealing with something else.
With no injuries or damage to the tow truck,
Cheers, John, thank you. Take care.
the seized vehicle can finally head off to the pound. Next time, John takes a Mini to its next destination.
Oh, look at this.
But there's a problem.
I can't get through your gate, mate.
This suspected drink driver
Okay, lovely stuff, thank you. Just pull the tube off for me.
has a question of his own.
No, that's what you said. So I'm not going to go through that with you.
And Officer Dave Lee confronts an illegal driver.
I've checked on the system. I know a lot more than what you probably think that I know.